What's up, man? Can you hear me?
What's going on? Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I can hear you as well. All right, man. How's your day going?
Not bad, not bad. How about yourself?
It's going pretty good. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. Did you get a good look at the questions that I had sent that I'll probably be asking you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I got you.
Sounds good. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. All
All
right.
right.
All right, so welcome back, everybody. What I wanted to do today was I wanted to get one of my clients on here, just who has really wowed me over the past couple weeks, and just showed a lot of commitment, and made a lot of progress. So I just wanted to kind of him in here, ask him a couple of questions just to see if maybe a look into how he's been performing and what he's been doing can help you guys out, because I know that a lot of people that join this group are pretty much in the same boat. Like a lot of people, it's mostly men. I think there are a couple girls in here now, but pretty much what everybody's looking to do is they're looking to lose weight, they're looking to better themselves. And most people are at a point where they're pretty much ready to make change, and Sawyer was at that point when he first joined the group, I think. And so I just wanted to kind of get him on here to show you guys what his progress has been looking like and the things that he's been doing. And maybe it can give you guys just some advice when it comes to applying it to your own life and helping you guys out. So thanks for coming on here, Sawyer. When you first came into the group, so where were
Yep.
you weight and health wise?
So weight wise, I was at 280 pounds, highest I've ever been. Um, 280 pounds. I was dieting. I was going to the gym, but I had no real direction, um, no real anything. I just kind of was just floating by, trying to do my own thing. But yeah, nothing was really successful whenever I was doing it on my own.
What
I was
kind of
actually on
sorry to
Facebook,
interrupt
just
you.
kind of scrolling through, and oh, you're good. Go ahead.
What kind of workouts were you doing before you joined?
So I was doing like focused workouts. It was like a push pull leg, like a 3 day split kind of thing, which now I know is not really helpful in a way to get me to my goal. Maybe once I get to my goal, then that would be something that I would do. But you've kind of enlightened me on that. That it's not necessarily something that I should be doing when I'm trying to get to where I want to be.
Yeah, totally. And what kind of lifestyle would you say that you had like before, and what kind of changes have you made to that lifestyle so far along your journey?
So the lifestyle that I mean, it was just kind of like I was before. I was just kind of floating through. I had no real direction on health wise and stuff like that. I was real like I don't want to say like a victim mentality, but it's almost like that. It's like, well, you know, I it's too hard, so I'm not gonna do it, or something along the lines of that. I want to be fit, I want to do it, but I didn't really want to put the work in.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I was.
So what ultimately decided you or made you make the decision to make the change and sort of take action? Is there something that you're pushing towards? Was there something that just sparked it, or has it just been a build up over time to where you were finally like, I've had enough? What did that look like?
So that what I mean, it was a little bit of a couple of those things. Um, so I was enlisted in the military for 8 years. I had somebody on my butt all the time, like, "Hey, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this." And then I got out, and I was like, nobody's telling me what to do. Uh, but I kind of, there was just one day I stood in the mirror and I was like, I've had it. This is enough. So that was kind of that big aha moment. Also I've got two little girls that I want them to grow up and know what hard work is, know what what it's like to be healthy and live a healthy lifestyle. Um, Something I've always also struggled with is I have a case of gynecomastia, which if nobody knows what that is, it's basically man boobs. So even at my lowest weight that I have really ever been in my adult life was 195 pounds. I still struggled with that. Still wasn't comfortable in my skin, and something that I've kind of entrusted Brandon in is to get me to my point to where I can have my surgery, and which is coming up in just a couple weeks. And he's really pushed me to get to that, to get to the point where I'm comfortable with getting that surgery.
Yeah. Well, I think that honestly, I think that the fact that you were in the army sort of plays into, I think it has a lot to do with your psychology and why you are such a great client to coach. Because like I tell you to do something, like you do it, like you don't give any pushback. And that's like one of my favorite things. Like like I
Absolutely.
get pushback from clients sometimes, but it's the best, it's the coolest thing ever to know that you can give somebody a plan, you can give them a meal plan, you can give them a workout routine, and they are not only going to follow it, but they are going to go above and beyond. When it comes to like cardio, they are going to be pushing themselves. They're going to be doing more than what is required. When it comes to their diet, they are going to be on it. Like if I tell you, like go ahead and be free or whatever, like eat whatever you want for a meal, like that type of stuff, they're not going to go crazy. Like
Right.
they have this want to put in like above and beyond efforts, and that's just definitely one of the things that I really appreciate about working with you. And yeah, and I think as far as that gynecomastia thing, the gynecomastia goes, I just think that pretty much everybody in this group struggles with something very, very similar to that. And
Absolutely.
I think like one of the biggest ones that I've pretty much tried to address in the group as much as possible is binge eating. Like it is just so incredibly prevalent. People struggle with it so much to a point where they feel ashamed. Like they feel ashamed whenever it happens, and they don't like they don't want to have a coach because they know that if
Yeah.
they have a coach, they'll have to come forward and basically say that, and they're having to come to terms with that insecurity like every single time. And I think that that's one of the big things that holds people back quite a bit. So thank you a lot for sharing that.
Yeah.
But let's hear. So you kind of already talked about what made you seek out help, and that you were looking for accountability, oversight, and just like an overall plan to follow to keep you in check. And like I said, I think that that ties in quite a bit with the fact that you were in the army, which is really cool. And let's hear. So how long have you been on the fat loss journey as of today, and how much progress have you made?
So, like before you, or like just
Just ever since we started.
so ever since we started, I think it's been about 2 weeks now. And I'm already down 10 pounds. I've shoot the other day, just on my deadlift, I went up 160 pounds, on from the previous week. So, um, something that has helped me tremendously is your warm up process,
Mm-hmm.
the hip flexibility or the hip mobility exercises. Um, it feels in the moment like, oh my gosh, like my lower extremities are about to pop off of my body. But it's helped so much just with my squat, with everything day to day. I know I can move around a lot better,
Mm-hmm.
just even in my normal work. So, that's helped me out tremendously as well.
That is awesome. Yeah, that is great. I'm really glad that's helped you out because so many people like that is one of the biggest like pieces of value that I can provide to a lot of people is just because so many people sit down or they're doing their
Yeah.
manual labor jobs and you just get so tight. And then that tightness in the hips always leads to like lower back stuff. And then people are spending time trying to diagnose why their lower back hurts. And they're like, it's
Yeah.
probably because my lower back, when instead they should be looking at the hips, at the ankles, all that type of stuff. So I'm really glad that you found a lot of value in something
Yeah.
pretty simple like that, because honestly that routine is the same routine that I myself follow, and
Yeah.
it helped me cure my I used to have really bad sciatic nerve pain because I had a slipped disc
I gotcha.
from lifting way too much weight when I was in high school,
Yep.
and so that's really helped with that. So the fact that you find it just as helpful is super awesome. So you said you've lost like 10 pounds, which is
Yep.
crazy. You're getting a lot stronger, which is awesome. We're pretty much right on track as far as everything goes. And I just want to say that, I mean, for most people, like you are honestly kind of an exception when it comes to the fat loss side of things, because most of my clients, what I like to do is I like to take them through some sort of like metabolic restoration process where we make
Sure.
sure everything is firing. And it basically looks like going on some sort of a reverse diet where I bump up their calories over a period of time to make sure that their like body knows that it's okay to burn calories and they don't
Right.
need to, like, they're not in survival mode, which is
Right.
kind of what I call it, where your metabolism just slows down to help your body survive on the amount of calories that you're feeding it. So most people, I would have them in that for a while, but after seeing like what you were eating throughout the day and like what your goals are, which is to lose a certain amount of weight before this operation, it was crucial that we put you into the fat loss phase right away. Try to get off the fat. But then also, I just saw that your calories were high enough to that we could like bump up your cardio, decrease your calories slightly, and you would start making really good progress. Like you didn't need to be put on like 1,000 calories. Like you're still eating
Right.
to a point where you are satiated throughout the day. You're not starving. It's not mentally it's not too hard for you to handle. And that is a very important part of a part of your journey. It's been super cool that we've been able to jump into that, because
Yeah.
you haven't, because before you worked with me, you weren't in this chronic state of like over dieting, which a
Right.
lot of people that do come to me are kind of in that state, and we need to take time to reverse out of that. But you're jumping right into it, and you stick to everything that I give you, which is awesome. So what are your ultimate goals as far as body composition goes? So like weight goals, or like, are you trying to get abs? Like ultimately, where do you see yourself?
That'd be cool. I mean, like getting abs would be something I've never had in my entire life. So growing up, it was just kind of like a psychological thing. My brother was always really fit, but I was always the lineman of the family.
Mm.
Like I was always like the guy that, my brother didn't finish his food, so mom just passed his plate to me, so I ate it. I've never been a fit guy. I mean, I can't say that. I played sports, I played football, all that kind of stuff. So I mean, I was in shape, but body composition wise, I never really was.
Mhm.
Um, Not to say that I want to have like a bodybuilder's physique. I it would be awesome. But I think really my goal is to just be as healthy as I can, and be a good example for my family is
That's
really
awesome.
what my thing is.
That is very great. And how difficult would you say the journey has been so far? Like, as far as like comparing it to what you were expecting, has it been more difficult, less difficult?
I think it really kind of matched what my thought process was. I mean, getting up at 4 in the morning is not an easy thing for anybody. I don't think, just whether it be for work or whatever, especially to get up and go to the gym. Because like, well, I'm about to go put my body through hell.
Hmm.
But at the same time, like, yeah, getting up at 4 o'clock for me is hard. But I think because the background of my phone are my girls, and then on the background of my lock screen is like, hey, no excuses, get up, it's time to go. And so I roll over, look at my phone with the alarm going off, and that's sitting in the background. I'm like,
Mhm.
all right, let's go. So, it's one of those things that, yes, it's hard, but with a goal in mind and something to look forward to, it hasn't been unbearable.
That's awesome. That's super cool. And it's so cool that you have like that motivation, coming from your family and doing it for your kids. Like that's super cool, honestly. Let's hear, how have you enjoyed the style of like hypertrophy weight training that I give to my clients? I think for you, we have you on a full body routine. You're working
Yep.
out 4 to 5 days a week, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. Four to
Yep.
five days a week, and then we have you doing, cardio to supplement that. But how have you enjoyed, like, do you find yourself enjoying the workouts?
Yeah. Yeah, I really do. With because it you get a little bit of everything every day, and that's what I like about it. But it's still focused.
Mhm.
Like, we're still doing chest, we're still doing legs, we're still doing shoulders and stuff like that. It's something that I have always, growing up doing sports and stuff, going through weight class and stuff. We had those days where it's just like bench, we're PRing. Like, it seemed like every other week we were trying to, get a new PR. So, it almost seems like we're going back to that mentality, because I'm pushing myself every day. I'm trying to go to failure on each exercise. And so, that's something that, I've enjoyed the crap out of.
That's awesome. I'm really glad you're having a good time with it, because hopefully that's the type of training that even when maybe you're not on a plan, you like enjoy it so much that you want to go work out,
Yeah.
like you want to go train. And that's pretty much what my goal is to try to make you enjoy it as much as possible as far as your workout routine goes. How easy has it been to stick to your diet and meal plan, specifically around like the holidays? Like, we just went
Oh
through
man, it's
Thanksgiving and we're going through Christmas. Like, what's it been
yeah.
like?
So I mean, it's been hard. It's been really hard. You get those weird looks like at the table whenever you bring out a scale. like, go ahead, you eat your fried turkey. I'm gonna get my smoked, and just kind of weigh it out here. It's been hard to, honestly, because I mean, you want to enjoy all of that, but really for me, it's just like I'm willing to sacrifice this right now, to get to where I want to be, and then next year, uh, oh shoot, there we go. Then maybe next year I could more intuitively eat and still contain what I want.
Hmm. Definitely. Yep. I mean, that is the ultimate goal. Like you find so many people think that freedom is being able to eat whatever you want and just like pick it up and eat it. And then as soon as you pull out the
Right.
scale, as soon as you start tracking the food, it's like, like it's so restrictive. Like, you're restricting. Ultimately, like, what we're doing is
Yeah.
you are practicing the discipline that is ultimately going to lead to you being able to intuitively eat. And that is true freedom, because
Right.
not only can you eat whatever you want, because you have an idea of what the calories are, what the macros are every single time that you look at it, because you've tracked it for so long. But then also you can use it to control your body composition, and you can
Right.
use it to control how you look, because like that in itself is true, true freedom, which is what we're ultimately striving for. And so I totally respect you on that. Let's see here. How has hiring me as a coach helped you with the process so far? I know you've mentioned it a little bit so far, but if you could go into that a little bit deeper.
Yeah. So I mean, the accountability aspect is what I love the most, because and the really, you seem to be extremely responsive to any time that I have a question or anything, like, and that's what I love the most, is that, like, if I'm doing a workout right now and I'm like, hey, am I doing this right? Or or hey, I just hit a new PR. Like I almost get a response, if not 10 to 15 minutes, after I send it, I get one at least that day. And it's awesome to be able to celebrate those things with you, and for you to be on my ass when I need it. And because that's one of the things that I kind of missed from the military, is that somebody was on my ass all the time.
Yeah.
Making me be accountable for what I'm eating, what I'm doing, and stuff like that. So that has helped me extremely. It's been the most thing that I needed since I've been out.
That's awesome. I'm super glad to hear that. And for the next question, let's hear, is there any ways that I can give you more assistance as your coach in helping you like reach your goals? Because I mean, this is like, it's not cheap. Like obviously, like paying for me for coaching to help you get you to where you want to go. Is there anything else that will help like fast track you on your route to success? Like we have the app where you get all of your assignments, you have your programs, you have your meal plan, like the 24-hour texting, the emails, like all that type of stuff, the progress photos. Is there anything else that you've sort of been thinking about as you go through this process that's like, oh, like, man, this would actually be really, really helpful?
Man, not really. I mean, you've given me all the tools to be successful, and I just need to put in the work for it.
Awesome. Sweet. And that's exactly what you're doing, dude. And I love to see it. For my last question, where do you see yourself in like 5 years, with the health, with the fitness, the
Right.
workouts, all that type of stuff?
So, where I see myself in 5 years would be to be intuitively eating.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the biggest part, because I do have a real bad issue of binge eating, and so having that tool to use in 5 years would be amazing. Something else that I would really love is once I get to my point where I've been doing this so long that I could help somebody else.
Yeah.
I could be a role model, just like you are for all these guys, that you know I could help other people as well.
That's awesome. And well, you're already inspiring me. So keep it
Heck yeah,
up. You're doing a great job.
love
As
it.
far as you kind of mentioned about your binge eating, and that's just like a super big topic that I really like to hammer home.
Yeah.
Do you have like any other tips or like recommendations like for people who are struggling with that?
So something that, like, me and you, we've talked about on that is spreading out some meals, and not getting to that point where I'm so hungry that I'm just like shoving my face.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like, I I go to the gym before I go to work. So when I get up, I take my pre-workout, I go work out, I come home, and something that really helps me, and I know it's not, the same for everybody else, but something that really helps me is my wife.
Mm.
My wife is my biggest supporter, and she helps me so much that she makes my breakfast and my lunch every day, which I'm extremely blessed for. But so I'll have a post workout shake, after I get home, and then I'll let that kind of settle and spread out to my breakfast, and I'll eat that about 9 o'clock or so, and then I'll let that kind of spread out. Then I'll eat my lunch around 11, 12, 1, somewhere in there, and then have a snack in between. Then that'll get me through to dinner, and I'm not so hungry to the point where it's just something always in my ear, like, hey, I need to eat, I need to eat, I need to eat. So that's something that helps me tremendously, is just spreading out those meals and getting some healthy snacks that don't want, fills me up but holds me over.
Totally, totally. And that's great. I think that that'll be really helpful to some of the people listening. All right, man. Well, that's all the questions I've got for you.
Awesome.
Thanks so much for coming on here. I really, really
Yeah.
appreciate it. You are absolutely killing it. And like I said, you are literally inspiring me. So
Heck yeah.
keep
Love it.
killing it, man. Keep like keep on the track, and hopefully we're gonna get you to where you want to go.
Absolutely. I have no doubt that we're going to get there.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, I'll
All
talk to
right.
you later. Thanks so much for coming
Sounds
on.
good.
I appreciate it.
Yep. Absolutely. We'll
All
see you,
right,
man.
later, man.